Chris Jones, what's the meaning of life?
Oh my God. The meaning of life.
For you.
For me. Wow. I think everyone starts off by saying life is everything, which is totally true. But the meaning of life for me is getting to live out here, getting to spend every day with my friends and family, and just appreciating what God has created for us. The salt life here, the fishing, the farming.
Telling them you can't be out here and not see God and not talk to God. It's literally impossible.
Definitely.
Good morning, Ben. Yesterday was a day of living in the Bahamas. Today is a day of playing in the Bahamas. Let's go. Today a friend of mine asked me about retirement and how I got over the fact that nobody calls me, nobody writes me, nobody cares. It was when I realized that nobody cares. But I'll tell you more about that as we go. It's actually really good news. Ben, I wanted to show you this spot because this is one of my favorite spots in the whole world. It's just a sweet little cove that we found one day. Had some amazing memories here. And it's just one of my favorite spots in the whole world. I want to share that with you. What you got, Chris?
A little lobster there walking.
Hey, this little lobster just walking around by Captain Chris over here. It's places like this that you wouldn't even think can exist. So insanely beautiful that you have no question this was not created by accident. So gorgeous. What I wanted to talk about was 2 days after I turned 46 years old, I sold the rest of my company. And everybody said, so you must be on to the next thing, because I know a guy like you can't retire. And I think that's why a lot of people are working that have already reached their milestones or their goals or what they want to accomplish, even though they don't have to, because they want to feel needed, they want to feel wanted, because everybody tells them that that's what they're supposed to do. But if you go to the Bible, God says enjoy your meals, enjoy your drink, enjoy your food, enjoy waking up each day. Love me with all your heart and love your neighbor. That's all he asks of us. You know, don't kill, lie, steal, and you'll feel even better. But I think that we've got a belief, because if you go into the Bible and read the story of Daniel with Babylon, they tried to make him like them, because they told you that's what matters, that's what you should care about. And they offered him all these things, and he always said, no, 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 no. So, awesome book to check out, because an awesome way to live by. I always say I'm out of Babylon, man. I can tell you the day I sold that company, I absolutely exited Babylon. I will not start another company. I will not chase money. I will not chase cars. But that was after a year and a half of depression, because I was off and on working, and I was only happy when I was working and unhappy when I wasn't, because I didn't even have a reason to get up in the morning. And I think that's the hardest part to figure out, is what are you supposed to do every day. So I think the number one thing I did was I realized that I'm not retiring, I'm refocusing. So I'm not dead, not going to retirement home. I'm going to go sit somewhere and do nothing. Taking my talents, my time, my finances, and my energy, and putting them into stuff that I enjoy. Now, could it make money? Maybe, but if I make any money on any of what I'm doing, it's all getting given to God and charity, above and beyond what I'm already doing. And the reason is, I don't want to do it for the money. I don't want to get sucked back into Babylon and back into living for success and the next car, the next house, all that stuff. Been there, done that. Kept them because it also makes me feel good for the hard work, even though God blessed all of it and made it all work. At the end of the day, there's two things you have to be really careful not to let go of. I believe the meaning to life is total financial freedom, so that you're not worried about bills and finances and all that stuff. My friend Jeremy told me this a long time ago, Ben. And TJ just reiterated, TJ's always told me the same thing. Financial freedom, you don't worry about bills. And then you have freedom of time, and freedom of time means you can do whatever you want whenever you want. You don't have a schedule. You literally have the freedom to do whatever you want. If I want to go walk around on this muddy, soft, weird, coral looking stuff that I'd never seen in my life, I can do that. See, right now, I'm just going to stop talking about what I'm talking about, and I'm going to show you that this is like all dead plant matter, and it's literally spongy, and it goes all the way through here. It's cool. I'd never seen it before, so I stopped to take a look at it. I stopped to smell the roses. I just finished eating some leftover fried grouper, and I just stopped working to do that, because I can stop anytime I want. I don't even have to make this video. I can just not make it. That's freedom of time. That's the ability to make the decision at any minute that you're not going to do something. I'm actually going to cut across that. I think I can make it. So, as I started to refocus, first I went through the mourning process, which I think is required. You got to kind of mourn the loss of your company, the loss of all your friends involved. Any company I've ever left, and most people I've talked to, same thing. They don't hear from their family from work anymore once they leave. It's just everybody's so busy. They have so much going on. If you're not spending 50 hours a week with them anymore, it's hard to still be family and go through that mourning, because you did lose something. In my opinion. All this is in my opinion. I have no idea. Might be totally off for you. I'll show you this treacherous crossing. But what I found to be important is that, there's definitely going to be sea life in here, is that no matter what you choose to refocus on, you have got to, there goes the little fish. So no matter what you refocus on, you've got to remember to preserve and protect freedom of time, freedom of money, because that was your goal. You may not have known it. I was chasing the cars and the houses, but then when I got them, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. Luckily, I read the Bible start to back.